Hello and welcome to episode 11 of our Let's Play of The Lord of the Rings. In the last episode, we attended the Council of Elrond, and it was decided that it would be our task to bring the ring to Mordor. So we're going to continue doing some little side quests around in Rivendell so we can better equip ourselves for the task ahead of us. We're in the library right now, and since we have Bilbo in our party, we're able to find the proper tomes and documents we need to read, so we'll start on that, and there's going to be a lot of them. From a carefully scripted scroll you read, Moria, the Black Chasm, Khazad-dûm in the tongue of the dwarves, was a great dwarven city deep beneath the misty mountains. Its western gate faces onto the lost land of Eregion, also called Hollin. Its eastern entrance opens onto the Dimril Dale and the golden woods of Lothlorien. Great stairs reached high into the mountain peaks and delved deep into terrible underground secrets. It is indeed one of the unequaled wonders of Middle-earth. It is also a place of horror and doom, for now no dwarves live there, only foul, darkness-loving creatures. There is no greater power in Middle-earth than the pure white flame of the secret fire. This flame of Arnor is the Holy Spirit, Ea, that gives life to the thoughts of Iluvatar's creation. The golden wheel of Arnor symbolizes Iluvatar's power. It was forged from a shard of the lamps of the Valar, which were destroyed by Morgoth in the wars that occurred before the coming of the elves, and given by Alwë as a gift to the eldest of the dwarves, Durin. When Moria fell into darkness, the wheel was said to be lost. Yet there are tales of a golden disc that was taken by men into the lands west of Weathertop. The true purpose of the wheel is lost, though it may only be intended as a symbol of the secret fire. The dusty scroll gives up its secrets. In the dark days following the fall of the Witch King, the fortified village of Gorthad defended the northernmost borders of what had once been known as Cardolan. Some maintain that the men of Cardolan rose up against their liege lord, that he had become a black sorcerer who sought to emulate the Witch King. The sources of this theory support their theories with further theories, that Gardaleg, the lord of Gorthad, had taken a black book of sorcery from the ruins of Carn Dûm, and that he had purchased the golden wheel from orcs that had brought it from the depths of Moria. The men of Cardolan trapped their liege lord within his magic circle, and banished his wife, who was allegedly a witch, into the far north. This scroll was apparently written by Gandalf, for the script matches other things he has written. It describes his visit to Dol Guldur and the research that was done in the library of Minas Tirith, that great city in the south of Gondor. The tales of the Black Book are grim indeed. Some say it belonged to the Witch King of Angmar, but others say that it could only have been written by the necromancer of Dol Guldur. Gardaleg, Lord of Gorthad, studied it thoroughly, and is said to have added many details on Moria, which he learned from the orcs who overran Moria after the fall of Durin's folk. The Great Book seems to open at once to something of interest. The Golden Wheel of Arnor, a curious artifact once possessed by the dwarves of Khazad-dûm, was said to wield some power over the forces of evil. One tale that escaped Moria's destruction was that of Borin, son of Bruin, who used the wheel to entrap a powerful spirit of evil. It is stated that Borin and comrades entombed the spirit far from the misty mountains, near a remnant of the old forest. From a tattered tome you read, Moria, the Black Chasm, Khazad-dûm in the tongue of the dwarves, was a great dwarven city deep beneath the misty mountains. Great stairs, and tapers off there. Weathertop, the southernmost of the weather hills near Bree, was once the site of Amansul, an ancient fortress destroyed by the forces of the Witch King. There are said to be crypts and caverns beneath its ruins, though not even the rangers know the way to find them. In a happier age, the elves of Eregion were mighty smiths, creators of many wondrous magical items. Chief amongst these smiths was Celebrimbor. He created many rings of power, untainted by Sauron's corruption. One of these, called the Smith's Ring, was imbued with a fraction of Celebrimbor's own skill. The region fell and Celebrimbor died. His skill lived on in this ring, passed down from smith to smith. At last it was carried into the old forest by Dunedain fleeing the Great Plague. Its owner died from an orc arrow as he crossed the river, Withywindle, and the smith's ring was never seen again. This passage seems to refer to the Shire. Aminar, the younger son of Arvaleg of Arthedain, took as his fief that lands west of the river Baranduin, and held them in the name of his brother, King Arafor, swearing an oath to avoid the kin strife that had harmed the sons of Isildur. But there was little love between them, and Aminar honored his oath, when he chose to, late and with little support. But in the final battle, rebuked by his liege lord, he was stirred to wild action, and he and his guard were slain by the Witch King. His dying words were an affirmation of his oath to the kings of Aminar for eternity. He was entombed in a cave overlooking his lands. Many are the treasures within Khazad-dûm. Within its labyrinth layers are gold, silver, and some of the mightiest weapons ever forged. While it is probable that the orcs have despoiled most of the wealth, it is unlikely that they have uncovered every hiding place of the cunning dwarves. That was a lot of stuff to take in, even though some of it we've already seen in our travels, like the Smith's Ring and the Golden Wheel. We've already found all of those things, but a lot of the stuff talking about Moria will be helpful to us. So we're just going to get rid of Bilbo here, and we'll go ahead and have Boromir join us, and that will be the final group of 10 that we're going to have once we set out from Rivendell. So now we can do some of the tasks that would improve your stats. I didn't want to do those while we had people that we were just going to get rid of. So now we can start some of those. This is Ben Appledore, Nob's brother from Bree. I came here hoping to get help in gathering Nob out of that awful Gorthad place. And I hear you already did it. You have my thanks. Yeah, if you hadn't done that quest, he would tell you to go back. And even a lot of the stuff in the books was talking about the Golden Wheel, so that is going to be really helpful in Moria, so it seems like they really wanted you to find that. You discover that Eladrian was the beloved of Pelisar, the ranger known as Hawkeye. She does not know that he is dead, it should say. Do you decide to tell her what happened to him? Well, it would be better that she did know. Eladrian collapses into sobs. The only thing she says that is comprehensible is that his ring must be placed in the hall of his fathers. And we don't have to go too far to do that. It's actually in the other part of the cellar that we didn't look in before. Just come to the west here. You'll find some tombs. Here in the nitro-coated crypt wall, the dust collects upon an empty stone shelf. The carvings beneath indicate that this bier has been reserved for Pelisar, a prince of the Dunedain. So if you use his ring that we took from his cave in the chest, a ghostly voice whispers, echoing softly from the nitrid walls of this ancient crypt. In a city of dead sits one who once led. A ring is his bane, a barrow its fane. He waits till the last ask of his past. The spirit's voice is heard no more in Middle-earth. And I'm actually going to go ahead and get rid of that now, since we don't need it anymore. We can leave it in here in his grave, I guess. There's one more thing you can do here. You can use the Baron Word of Power, actually, and you'll get a bit of a stat boost for everybody on their strength, I believe. So we've done that. I guess we can go back and tell Eladrian about that. Hopefully that will console her somewhat. In spite of your attempts to cheer Eladrian, she will not speak. Instead, she stares into the fire and listens to elven tales in silence. Well, that's too bad for her, I guess. So the next thing we'll need to do, we have some skills we can get from these two guys and this one in this room down here. A tall, dark elf man faces you. Welcome, he says. I'm Eladan, Elrond's son. I've been asked to share my skills with those who will continue the quest. Are you interested? Yeah, we'll go ahead and take them. You'll have to use the take button to get them. And there aren't too many skills that you can get that you don't already have. But there are a couple, and beforehand I already kind of wrote down who I wanted to give these to, so I wouldn't have to go through and find which skills people already had. So I'm just going to go through, but obviously you're free to customize these in any way you want to. And the last one we'll give is detect traps. So there are combat skills, and then those active skills we just got, and some lore you can get as well. A tall, dark, elven man faces you. Welcome, he says. I'm Elrond here, Elrond's son. I've been asked to share my skills with, if we're continuing the quest, are you interested? So we only have a couple here. The swords, I think I gave those to Legolas. Yep, we did. And bows. Gave a hobbit the bow skill here. What next? And we'll give Gimli Brawl, and then we'll give Glorfindel the Dodge. And then the last one is in here. A gray-haired elf turns towards you. I am Aristor, he says. I know of lost magic and teach of lore skills. Are you interested in learning? Of course we are. So we'll start with Frodo, I guess. He knows a lot of lore already, so we'll give him wizard lore and Numenorian lore. This guy sure knows a lot, it looks like. There for Sam, Pippin. Orc lore for Gimli. Gandalf already knows a lot of lore as well, and Aragorn can't take any skills because his skills are full right now, so that's why we didn't give him any of those skills. Boromir, I think. Yeah, and we'll give him the last ones. So those are all the skills you can get, and well, we've already taken all the skills, so you may get asked again to get the skills, but if you already have them, you obviously won't be able to get them again. And there's one last thing we need to do here in Rivendell before we go on that quest to get the evidence of the Black Riders for Elrond. You behold one in whom it is said that the beauty of Luthien has come to earth again, Arwen Evenstar, Elrond's daughter. What gift could be worthy of one of such beauty? And we'll talk to her and see what she says. The fate of Middle-earth and all creatures who dwell here is at stake. And this is where all those gems and things we've been finding can come into play. You can trade her gems or rings or anything like that. You'll get a bit of a stat bonus whenever you do that. Arwen is surprised, but delighted by your gift. I have a token of my own, she says. Perhaps your quest may take you to Lothlorien. If it does, and you have problems gaining entry and seeing Galadriel, show this to the guard at her gate. And we'll just trade her the rest of the stuff. I think we still have the barrel. We can trade that to her. And it'll display the same message again, but obviously she only gives you the token one time. I think we have one more gem that we can give her. Yeah, for some reason I don't think you can give her the light gem, although I'll double check that. No, you can't. So I don't think we have anything else worth giving her. So I think, I can't remember what stat it is, maybe luck, I think. But everyone gets a stat boost every time you give her something. Alright, so now we can set out on the quest to find evidence of the Black Riders before we can actually leave on the journey proper. And remember when we fought them at the ford, it mentioned something about their cloaks being washed downstream. So maybe that would be sufficient evidence for Elrond to prove to him that the riders are indeed gone. And you'll need to explore both sides of the river to find all the cloaks. So we'll explore the western side first. Whenever we get back to it. So here we are. And obviously they went downstream, so we don't need to look to the north of the ford. And to find them, you'll just kind of, once you walk along the riverbanks like this, you'll find black cloaks. So we've got 2 there, so that's a good start, I suppose. And we've, looks like we found another one here. And it's kind of convenient, they split them up pretty evenly from one side of the river to the other. It looks like we have a bit of a marshy area down here. We should be getting pretty close to the last one on this side, I believe. Yep, here it is. So now we can head back north to the ford and explore the other side. There's actually one thing I wanted to mention on some of these ruins. In one of them, you can use perception to find a couple dwarven shields, but we already actually have enough shields for everybody, so I'm not going to do that. It would just be a waste of time at this point. But there are 3 sets of ruins down there to the south, I believe, so I can't remember which one it is. Upon the side of the river bank are 3 black cloaks, all that the Black Riders left behind as they returned in spirit form to Mordor. So it looks like we have 2 more to find. So that's 7, I believe. I think we should be getting pretty close to the last one. Near the riverbank is a black cloak. Unfortunately, a band of wargs stands between you and it. Now we'll get a chance to test out all these new members of the party we have. I'm actually going to move the elves away because they can attack from anywhere since they have the ranged bows. I guess it might be a... Well, I'll talk about that later, actually. The different combat skills that we have for these different weapons. And now we have the last black cloak. And I noticed that Sam had his torch equipped, so I'm actually going to change that from him real quick. And I'll give Boromir some food, since I noticed he took a bit of damage there, and we do have a lot of food on us right now. So we're going to free up some space for some more stuff. There we go. And I'm just going to go ahead and let you know that there's actually only 8 cloaks. So we don't need to find any more. We actually have all of them. Going further south on either side, you wouldn't find any more. So, and Elrond will actually mention that when you give the cloaks to him. So here we have the path again. Now we just need to go back to Rivendell, and this will be the last quest that we need to do there. And after that, we'll be able to head south and start the journey properly along this trail right here. And we didn't really have to heal Boromir with the food. I did it to free up some spots in the inventory, but you will be healed every time you cross the threshold of Rivendell. I think I may have mentioned that in one of the previous videos. So we'll return to Elrond here. Elrond casts the last shredded cloak aside. Though you have accounted for but 8 of the Nazgul, we can delay no longer. Against the enemy's 9 riders I shall send forth 9 walkers. Along with the ring-bearer and his companion, Gandalf will go, for this shall be his great task, and perhaps the end of his labors. For the rest, they should represent the other free peoples of the world, elves, dwarves, and men. Legolas shall be for the elves, and Gimli for the dwarves. For men, take with you Boromir, a valiant man of Minas Tirith and Gondor. Elf lords I could send with you, but they would only serve to draw the attention of the enemy. I cannot force any of those valiant heroes to join you, therefore choose those who may best aid you in your quest. Your path lies south of here, through Redhorn Pass, and into the forest of Lothlorien. My folk have been instructed to give what aid they can, though some may still require a token in return. If my kinfolk question you, use my name as their answer. To Gandalf I give Mirror, a powerful cordial, to help you in cold weather. Use it wisely. And lastly, I will give you a single word. You will know when to use it. That word is Melon. There's something of value here. There's more Athelas we can take, so we'll want to grab that. And I will give Gandalf the Mirror. Well, we can't yet. Well, the cloaks don't have any further use, so I'm just going to get rid of all of them. So we'll have room to take the Mirror. There we go. And I think this would be a good place for us to bring this episode to a close. And in the next episode, we will be journeying south, and like like Elrond said, our journey will be through the Redhorn Pass. So we will tackle that in the next video.